The readings for Wednesday, June 7th. The epistle reading is from St. Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 1, verses 18 through 27. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who suppress the truth in unrighteousness, because what may be known of God is manifest in them, for God has shown it to them. For since the creation of the world his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and birds and four-footed animals and creeping things. Therefore God also gave them up to uncleanliness, in the lusts of their hearts, to dishonor their bodies among themselves, who exchanged the truth of God for the lie, and worship and serve the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this reason God gave them up to vile passions, for even their women exchanged the natural use for what is against nature. Likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men, committing what is shameful, and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error which was due. All right. Just in time for Pride Month. So there you go. I mean, I hate to be sophomoric and trite with these messages. I genuinely put these out to the world so that people can get edified, but in this particular reading, I just have to throw in just a quick commentary here. Narrator's side remark that how silly it is when you hear people say, like, it doesn't say anything about being gay in the Bible, or I don't know how exactly they word the cope that they use, but it's Jesus never said anything about being gay, or there's something to that effect. They try to make it so that it doesn't say anywhere in Christianity it doesn't speak against homosexuality. So, yeah, I just have to point out, like, right here, first chapter of Romans, you know, he doesn't, being that he's St. Paul, he does not use vague wording here whatsoever. Anyhow, just had to throw that in there. Let's get to some footnotes now from the Orthodox Study Bible. So, for verse 18, the wrath of God is his righteous and holy judgment. It is not a loss of temper or self-control, but the revelation of his divine truth, love, and power, confronting those who reject him. See Matthew chapter 25, verses 41 through 46, and 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verses 6 through 10, and chapter 2, verse 8. For verse 20, all humanity can recognize quote-unquote natural revelation, that is, God's energy or power and his transcendence, as noted by the word Godhead, by simply observing the glories of creation. Thus, the rejection of God cannot be excused by the claim of ignorance. For even, quote, the heavens declare the glory of God, the firmament shows the creation of his hands, end quote. And that is Psalm 18, verse 2. Humanity by nature worships. Some seek to worship the Creator, while others worship the creation. A brief definition of being fully human is giving glory and thanks to the true God. Those who refuse to worship him become darkened in their hearts. And for verses 26 and 27, homosexual behavior, men with men, is a vile rejection of God's order for creation. These passions are against nature and therefore spiritually devastating. Error means delusion. The Gospel reading is from the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 20 through 26. For I say to you, that unless your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that it was said to those of old, You shall not murder, and whoever murders will be in danger of the judgment. But I say to you that whoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whoever says to his brother, Raca, shall be in danger of the council. But whoever says, You fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar, and go your way. First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Agree with your adversary quickly, while you are on the way with him, lest your adversary deliver you to the judge. The judge hand you over to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. Assuredly, I say to you, you will by no means get out of there till you have paid the last penny. All right. Some footnotes now from the Orthodox Study Bible. Okay. For, verse 20, righteousness that leads to salvation must exceed the Pharisees because theirs was an outward, works-based righteousness. The righteousness of salvation is the communion of the heart, soul, mind, and body in Jesus Christ. See the footnotes on Romans chapter 1, verse 17, and chapter 3, verse 26. For verses 21 and 22, the repeated formula, but I say to you, is a statement of total divine authority, as noted in chapter 7, verse 29. As the creator of man and the author of the law, Christ can speak with this authority. While there is anger which is not sinful, as noted in Psalm 4, verse 5, and Mark chapter 3, verse 5. Here, Jesus forbids sinful anger, identifying it with murder. The council is the supreme legal body among the Jews. Hell, or in Greek Gehenna, see chapter 10, verse 28 and footnote, is the final condition of sinners who resist God's grace. I'm looking for any kind of citation on that word Raca. Whoever says to his brother Raca. I figured we'd get to it, but I'm not seeing it. If you guys know, comment. Comment below. Say what up. For verses 23 and 24, peace with other believers is a requirement for worship, as noted in Mark chapter 11, verse 25. The liturgical kiss of peace at the beginning of the Eucharistic prayer is a sign of reconciliation and forgiveness, preparing the faithful to offer the holy gifts at the altar, as noted in 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 20, and 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 14. For verses 25 and 26, Luke places this teaching in the context of the end of the age, as noted in Luke chapter 12, verses 57 through 59. Here it is in the context of reconciliation surrounding the liturgy. Delay in reconciliation allows for the spread of animosity and other evils, as noted in Ephesians chapter 4, verses 26 and 27. Well, that is a wrap on today, everybody. Pack that one up and send it. Hope you guys have a blessed hump day, Wednesday. There is no fasting again this Wednesday. Pretty sure that is pan-Orthodox, covers all traditions. However, enjoy the fact that fasting is prohibited now, because, as I mentioned before, next week we kick off the Apostles' Fast. And we've gotten lucky with that before. I think it was a couple of years ago, the Apostles' Fast, just based on where it landed and everything. It was one day. It was just one day. I think last year also it was like, it might have been, I think it was like 10 days or something like that. No such luck. We're going to finish off the month of June pretty much fasting. It's looking like 2.5 weeks. So enjoy this fast-free Wednesday now. Come back into this channel for readings on future days if you wish. Or if not, then whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. But please include me, a sinner, in your daily prayers. It would be very, very appreciated. And on that note, have a good day, everybody.